So, tell me how Yen's doing.
Careful. How do you know I found her?
You didn't answer my question. How's Yen?
He say where Dandelion is.
Yes, but
That's good.
asking about anything specific.
Never mind.
Trace.
About time we made something clear, sorceress.
Yes, high time.
Me and my men will manage just fine without the help of you or any other mages. But you, well, without our help, you're sitting ducks for the temple guard. Who do I spy?
Geralt?
Hey, Triss.
See you two know each other. See you two know each other well. I was curious whether you'd managed to find me, Witcher.
Am I mistaken, or you got something to take up with me?
See, Witcher, I've got plans. Big plans. Far-reaching plans to reshape this city head to toe.
Ever thought of seeking a seat on the city council?
City Council is a puppet troupe with a hierarchy of the Church of the Eternal Fire as its puppeteer. Until recently, that is, when Radovid and his witch hunters took the reins. The semblance of power don't interest me.
A man with a vision.
One day, the so-called free city of Novigrad will be truly free. But before that can happen, we got to rid it of superstition, farting around about the hallowed essence of the eternal fire. Nonsense for kiddies.
Apparently not. Cheering crowd at the execution. Mostly adults.
Any crowd of rabble will cheer to the stench of burning flesh. But one day, folk will understand the eternal fire's naught but a leash around their necks. They call this place the Putrid Grove. But it's the rest of Novigrad that's putrefied. This here's the last bastion of normality, sanity, reason. I'm actually glad someone like you's found his way to our city. Because it will be our city one day, Geralt. Mark my words.
Yours, plural.
Yeah, mine. And me friends. But that's a tale for another time. For now, I'll leave you two alone. Because I can see, well, you clearly need it.
Geralt, I have a lot of things to take care of in town.
I'll be glad to tag along. What's your arrangement? He using you?
Helping me to survive, actually.
6 months ago, if somebody said Triss Merigold would be working for a Novigrad criminal, I'd never have believed it.
6 months ago, Triss Merigold parted with someone very dear to her and had to stop and me. Hasn't turned out like I imagined. Come on, let me give you a taste of my life.
Madam Sorceress. Beautiful as ever. Damn shame to part.
Don't fret. Bound to be back soon. I take it you're in Novigrad on important business.
Important doesn't do it justice. I'm looking for someone.
More precisely?
Young woman who's like a daughter to me.
Her? Here? No, impossible.
She was here. There are witnesses, evidence. Was hoping you'd heard something. You've been here a while. I need you to help me find something, anything, a trace.
I'll do everything I can, of course. Who might know more? Hello, Klug. Managed to get those magic incense ingredients?
Yes, somewhat with difficulties, you might say. I was walking along the canal with a sack full of goodies for you. Looked up and spied a trio of temple guards coming the other way.
Get to the point, Klug. No time today for one of your long stories.
Wait! A sack full of magicalities and they were coming straight towards me. I don't easily frighten, but I felt a cold sweat on my arse, I did. I'm afraid I had no choice. I dropped the sack in the water. I had to. When asked why, I claimed it contained a dead cat. You shan't believe this, but they believed me.
I need that package, Klug. I've got a contract.
It must be on the canal bed. Luckily, it was heavy enough to sink. I'm sure it'll turn up if you search.
You expect me to pay you, then dive for my goods into that ice-cold filth?
I can do that. Where'd you toss the package?
Near the crane. Second bridge in from the harbour.
I didn't expect such devotion.
Wanted to freshen up anyway. Let's go.
Stop. Hear that? They've come for us.
The fall didn't break until I began to prick his heels. Every man's got his sensitive spots. Interrogated a mage once. Pain couldn't touch him. Tore off his fingernails, crushed his bollocks, nothing. Turned out, he was devilishly ticklish. I placed a beetle on his belly and set a mug atop it. Damn near went mad.
We were lucky this time, but you'd best leave via the sewers. The trapdoor's in the floor.
Take care of yourself, Klug. Judging by what Klug said, the parcel should be around here on the bottom. Unless the poor man was mistaken. He's been forgetful ever since Manga interrogated him. Seems to be suffering from a persecution complex, too.
Current must have carried the sack seaward. I'll swim towards the port. Coming with?
Maybe some other time.
Don't know what you're missing. Water's thick with pungent oils. Guessing it'll do wonders for my complexion.
Find the parcel? Or did you get wet for no reason?
Nothing like a refreshing swim in a filthy canal. Found a few fish, a rusty anchor, the carcass of a boat. Oh, and this.
Oh, my package. Hope the contents aren't soaked through. Oh, you're a doll.
Seem to be in your element.
Still remember my elements? How I use them?
Come on, 6 months isn't that long. It's not like I'm senile.
But you do have a history of amnesia.
I've recovered my memory completely.
Good. That should stop people from taking advantage of you.
Someone's been taking advantage of me.
I have, for one.
I've never even intimated.
We need to hurry.
Greetings, sorceress.
Greetings, Brandon.
I didn't expect you to bring company.
Triss, you told this man you're a sorceress?
Of course. She was looking for work. That's her chief asset.
Are you, Triss?
I know it was reckless, but competition's stiff here. No one would hire me if I claimed to be a common rat catcher.
More importantly, no one would believe such a beauty could be an exterminator of rodents. But I'd prefer you not to tarry and begin.
Triss, you and Brandon here. You've agreed a price?
We settled on a full coin purse.
Brandon & Co. is a serious outfit. We've the largest granary in all Novigrad.
All right then. Let's get to work.
We need to place these crystals around the granary, near anything that looks rat-related. Now we wait for them to scurry away.
Interesting method. Never had much luck with rats. Once I hit one with a fork in complete darkness, trying to show off my witcher's senses. Masterful throw, really. Problem was, no one else saw it. How could they in the dark?
So, what do you think? Rat catcher? It's a long way to fall from being advisor to Temeria's king.
I'm just glad to see you safe and sound. And...
Reconciled?
Knew a man once who reacted to everything, especially adversity, by mocking it.
Healthy attitude. Must have lived long.
Came a day he lost both his legs in battle. He shrugged, said it was better that way. He'd never feel pain in them again.
I understand him perfectly.
I know. Thing is, he was lying to himself.
I think he just didn't have much of a choice.
We all lie sometimes. But lying to yourself is running away, whereas there's really nowhere to run.
Sometimes you have to escape just to forget. Your friend might have dwelled on his lost legs, but it's not like by grieving he could have grown another pair. So, tell me how Yen's doing?
How do you know I found her?
You didn't answer my question. How's Yen?
She's fine.
That's good.
Asking about anything specific?
Never mind. I got my answer.
Well, well. Are lovebirds having themselves a little chat instead of working?
The job's done. Geralt, those are...
I know who they are, Triss.
My friends begged me to notify them if I encountered a mage, sorceress, what have you. Didn't have the heart to refuse.
It's a trap, Geralt.
This stank from the start.
Such a sharp sense of smell. You should have legged it while you had the chance.
I don't generally leg it. Here's what I think you should do. Pay up and march your boys out of here while there's still time.
Don't be ridiculous. I didn't hire a sorceress in order to pay her.
Take my advice, mutant. If it's not your business, stay out of it.
Thanks for the advice, but I can't take it. All right, we've talked. Do what you gotta. Just remember, I can't help but get in your way.
Heard enough from this horse, son.
As have I. Neither is to leave here alive. Fine. Your coin.
Now, get.
Thanks, Geralt.
You should try to keep better company.
He was still better than some mages. You know, I've been thinking who might know something about Ciri, and I just got an idea. There's an Oneiromancer in town, Corrine Tilly. Very capable, supposedly.
Never trusted in Dreamer's abilities myself.
Corrine's been very effective. You should at least try. She's taken a job close by. Follow the canal, away from the fish market. The house is near the first bridge. Its owner, de Jonquier, is a rich banker.
Not coming with me?
I've got some things to take care of.
Another rat-infested warehouse?
Not exactly. Nothing even remotely satisfying. Such are the times.
It was nice to see you again.
You too, Geralt. You should go now, before Corrine goes back into hiding somewhere.
What if I want to find you?
I live in the Bits, near the fish market. Stop by. It'd be nice.
All right. See you later.
Yes? Who are you here for?
Triss.
Told her from the start. No men, no pets. 'Tis a decent house for decent folk.
Don't worry, won't stay long.
Yes, Geralt?
Been in Novigrad long?
Long enough to know how not to get caught and survive.
And before you came here, where were you?
Oh, places where I managed to get by without your help, too. Which doesn't mean I'm not happy to see you.
See, you kept the rose of remembrance I gave you in Flotsam.
Seems so long ago. Probably because so much has changed.
So, sentimental value. That why you kept it?
Partly, though more as a warning.
Look what I picked up.
Artifact compression. Someone got themselves enchanted in this figurine.
Intend to decompress?
Of course. Whoever cast the spell on the poor soul must have forgotten about him.
Looks like a nobleman.
Could be just that. Come with me. I can't perform the ritual here. Everything's ready. Let's get to work.
Place is pretty grim.
True. It looks like a vampire's hideout. Which is why we can be pretty sure no one will bother us here. Give me the figurine and stand back.
Let's try it. Think it's a nobleman.
Be on your guard. It could be something far more dangerous. In Allen, Dwana, Ar-Ice.
No! Coral, no! I can explain everything!
Coral?
I never looked at the lass. You are my one and only. Oh, you're not Coral. Some succubus. A delusion. Where am I?
So Coral enchanted him. Just like her.
If there's a more vindictive sorceress, I don't know her. Well, except maybe...
Coral's not here. In that case, come to me, succubus.
What is your name?
We're in Novigrad. Novigrad.
In Novigrad. Last I recall, I was in Oxenfurt, and Coral was furious. How can she demand fidelity when she herself is wanton as
youthful goats.
Exactly. Damn it! I feel as if I've been trampled by a herd of cattle. I've no notion what she did to me, but it seems you've delivered me from my misfortune. Here, take this. Have a good time. Paint the town Coral.
Whose taste has grown worse since you were sleeping with her. Come on, the kind-hearted gentleman will get along fine on his own. Yes, Geralt?
So long, Triss. Didn't expect to see you here. Certainly not with Triss.
I decided we could use someone who knows a bit of magic. The runes on the bomb, I'm absolutely dying to know what they mean.
You dying to know too, Triss?
No, just here for the coin.
Ah, Marigold playing the cynical materialist. I love it. In truth, her ideals brought Triss here. She needs gold to save her colleagues. When I recover my treasure, I'll be in a position to help her. Simple as that. Speaking of which, and pardon my Beauclervoise, have you found out who fucking nicked my gold?
Hang on. Gotta tell me why you're here first. We agreed. If I learned anything, I'd take it to you.
So we did. But I was concerned about you. Stopped by to see if everything was all right.
Thanks. You can breathe easy now. In the future, though, remember this. I can look after myself.
Fine. You look after yourself, and I'll look after my interests.
Gentlemen, really feel privileged to witness your battle of wits. But try to remember, unlike you, I put my life at risk every time I venture out into the streets. Did the same just coming here. So I beg you, can we get to the point?
Bothered Triss for nothing. No point examining the bomb.
Because?
'Cause I already know who nabbed your treasure. Commander of the Temple Guard, Caleb Menge.
Well, well, Marigold. Your coin stands to come with a side of revenge. Geralt, would you be kind enough to tell me what you've learned? I'm terribly curious.
Henkel told me. Old man's alive and well. Faked his own death to escape his creditors.
Strange. I had no idea he was in debt.
He was. And Menge promised to take care of things in exchange for help with the heist. So...
Geralt, how can I put this delicately? Bollocks. If you thought I'd fall for that tale you just pulled out of your arse, you don't know me one bit.
All right, I lied, but only partly.
Heard of beasts that are half lion, half eagle, maidens who are half fish, but you'll never convince me there's such a thing as a half-truth.
I'll give it a shot anyway. Didn't actually see Henkel, but Menge does have your treasure.
Take it you learned this by peering into a crystal ball.
Maybe. Trade secret.
You're hiding something, and that's one thing I can't stand, even more than Nilfgaard. But ultimately, this is a business deal, not a marriage. Besides, there must be some truth in all those lies. You're too dense to make it all up on your own. Menge has been spending heaps of coin lately, though to my knowledge he shouldn't have a copper to his name.
So, what now?
From what I've heard, Menge spends his nights at the docks, witch hunters' quarters. Maybe pay him a visit. Ask where he's holding my gold for me.
So we do your dirty work while you sit around twiddling your thumbs.
Darling, when I'm able to make use of someone, I always do. It's convenient.
And safe. Come on, admit you're scared of Menge.
Of course I'm scared. Bloody dangerous horse, son. Triss would concur, I think.
Not in those words. But I do agree with the statement overall.
Doubt Menge will admit anything willingly.
As do I. Lucky I hired a witcher and a sorceress who've been through so much together to get this done.
What's our past got to do with it?
A great deal. Lovers will jump into the abyss for one another. Suits my needs perfectly. Namely, it greatly increases your chances of getting out of the hunter's barracks alive. With my treasure.
In other words, you're using us.
Using you? Never. Merely making the most of your mutual bond. Well, lovebirds, I really must be going. Good luck.
Thought you'd correct him. Say that we... you know.
Could have corrected him yourself.
True. But it's not an easy thing to say, is it? But we've strayed from our topic. Got a treasure to recover.
Triss, gotta tell you something. Dijkstra's gold, it's the last thing I care about.
Thought as much. This is about Ciri, isn't it?
Menge's got Dandelion locked up somewhere, and Dandelion saw Ciri.
That changes everything. Listen, meet me at midnight by the Chapel of the Eternal Fire, east of the harbor. We'll figure out a way to get into the Hunter's Barracks together.
All right, see you then, and thanks.
Yes, Geralt?
Spoke with Radovid. Offered me a contract to find Philippa.
The bastard. Wasn't enough that he poked her eyes out? Probably wants to torture her some more. You turned him down, of course.
No.
Geralt, you know what he did to her.
Relax. See, I figured if I agreed, I could look for her without his men getting in my way. Fact is, I'm curious to know what happened to her.
So? Learn anything?
A bit. Seems she hid in some elven ruins outside Novigrad after she fled Loch Muin. Conducted some experiments there. This might tell us more.
A Megascope crystal. It's damaged, but it could still work.
And Francesca's equally hesitant. Neither she nor Ida wishes to decide blindly.
They'll stop hesitating as soon as we convince Kira and Fringilla.
Fringilla's on our side. She'll join us as soon as she's finished some business in Nilfgaard.
Wonderful. That leaves Kira. The problem is, I've still no notion where she could be.
Yennefer and Triss.
Yennefer's never belonged to the Lodge. And Triss? Well, we shall see. I must regain my vision. I can go to Novigrad, then see Arthur de Ballista. The word is, Triss is also carousing about the city.
You still insist? Phil, pardon my saying so, But you will never regenerate your eyes on your own.
Vilgefortz did it. I'm employing the same method, cultivating tissue on precious stones.
It's madness. You will need its power. You'll put yourself in great danger.
That's it. That's all I could recover.
I get that right? Philippa says she wants to restore her vision?
Seems she was planning to grow tissue on precious stones.
Makes sense. Found agates covered in blood in her hideout.
If she pulled it off, she'd only be the second person in the world to do so. But the bit about the lodge, that's what I found interesting.
Guessing Radovid would love to get his hands on this.
You're not gonna give it to him, are you?
Probably better if you keep it.
Much better. It'll be safe with me. I'll try to cast a diagnostic spell. Maybe learn something more. Glad you're here. Listen, took a look at the building and it does not look good.
Mean it could use a bit of paint and spackle?
I mean, it's a damn fortress. High walls, guards at the gate, armed men everywhere. We could never sneak in, and fighting our way in won't work. Menge would have had plenty of time to escape.
What do you suggest?
Take these shackles. Put them on me.
Triss, sure you want to do this? Out here, with everyone watching?
This might come as a surprise to you, but shackles do have uses outside of the bedroom. Think. Bring the hunters the vile Triss Marigold. They won't just open the gate for you. They're likely to let you present her to Menge personally.
No way. Too risky.
Dandelion's life's on the line. Series 2. No such thing as too risky.
Triss, think about it. Really want to walk into the lion's den of your own free will, and in chains?
Yes.
No, can't allow it.
Nice of you to worry, but I've made my decision, and I won't change it.
Fine. Let's say they take the bait. What then? We go in, I put a sword to Menge's throat and ask him where Dandelion is?
Might not work. Menge's scum, but you have to admit, death doesn't scare him.
Always found that annoying in fanatics. So we gotta trick him into talking. Any ideas?
Maybe tell him you have information about the Lodge. Or about Philippa. Even better, he hates her most of all. You'll think of something.
Wait. I want to thank you.
Come on. Anyone would do this.
No. Not anyone.
Stop. It doesn't befit a sorceress to blush.
Still got a bad feeling about this. But tough. Let's go.
Geralt, remember, I can take care of myself.
What are you talking about?
The hunters. They won't treat me like a lady, but I'll survive. Might hurt a bit, but... Ciri, she's what matters. Do what you need to do, no matter what happens.
Can't promise that.
I'm still asking you to, all right?
All right.
What do you want?
Here for my reward.
What the hell for?
For a witch. Recognize who I got? It's Triss Marigold.
Marigold? Come in then.
Well, well. Triss Marigold. Giving up drowners for sorceresses?
Pays better.
It's 'cause they do more harm. What's a drowner do? pull the odd fisherman from his boat. But the witches, they murder kings, scheme, start wars.
Don't forget turning your cow's milk sour straight out of the udder.
You're done jesting, Marigold. For good. Put her in a cell.
Not so fast. I hand her over to Menge himself, or not at all.
You reckon we don't know what to do with this witch?
Let go, you bastard!
Vulgar tongue's got no place being in such a pretty mouth. I guess we'll have to rip it out.
Try to loosen it if I were you. Might learn something interesting.
For instance?
For instance, where Philippa Eilhart's hiding.
I'll get you for this, you...
Shut your gob, ginger whore, and you spit it out. Where's Eilhart?
Thought I made myself clear. I'll only talk to Menge.
Menge don't talk to the likes of you.
Well, then you be sure to tell him I came by, with my friend Marigold.
Fine, grab her and come with me. But be sure to stay right close. Here's where we split up. Go see Menge. Marigold will be next door.
You can't have her until I get...
You don't set the terms here. Dirk, you know what to do.
You won't get a word out of me. Not you, not him.
Oh, playing tough, eh? Just you wait. We'll take a fingernail or three. That ought to get you singing.
Do what you want.
Come on, witch. Show you the wonders a pair of pliers can work. You'd be surprised.
I believe I told you not to let anyone in.
Unless they had information concerning Philippa Eilhart. This witcher says he's got just that.
Anyone can claim that.
We'll start with your pinky nail. Nah, let's go for your ring finger. This little piggy went to market.
But it's not that easy to bring us Triss Marigold.
Is that who I hear? Very well. I'll go see her shortly. But first, let us talk. Sit. Sit. Have a drink, Witcher.
Sidarian.
A 1261 vintage, year of the massacre of Sintra.
Stop squirming. This little piggy went home.
Kurt, please see why Miss Marigold squeals so convincingly. Perhaps she needs something. Hot irons, for instance.
Speaking of metal, this goblet's silver. Making sure I'm not a Doppler.
Ah, it's immediately apparent. A professional. I find that refreshing. But to answer your question, one can never be too careful. You'll be surprised how many come here turn to rancid jelly as soon as they grip the goblet.
Got a silver sword on my back. That not enough?
It proves nothing. Dopplers can change their bodies at will. into materials that look and feel like silver as well. Materials that have none of silver's useful properties naturally.
See, you're an expert on Dopplers.
I'd expect a witcher of all things to understand the value of knowing one's enemy.
This little piggy had roast beef.
Oh, you bastard. No.
This little piggy had none.
Now, let us talk shop. I shall pay you twice the usual reward for Marigold.
Awfully generous. Why?
Well, you've turned in your lover. The emotional trauma it must entail. You deserve compensation.
Yeah, I've plowed Triss. But what does it matter if you're paying gold for her head?
Oh yeah. Nearly forgot the mutations strip witches of feelings.
No. No more.
Be brave, dear. Just one more fingernail and we'll move on to the other hand. This little piggy went wee. Ow! Bitch bit me! Ah, the bitch bites. Let's put a collar on her. Dimeritium ought to calm her down.
You surprise me, Geralt. Perhaps we can deal after all. So, you know something about Philippa, but I wager you won't share this information for free. What do you want in return?
It's simple. Free Dandelion.
A degenerate bard for information about Philippa. Tempting offer, I admit, but I must say no. You see, I've a magnificent execution plan for Dandelion in Oxenford. A breaking wheel, flaying alive, and so forth. It should work wonders for the mores of the academic youth and townsfolk.
When's this morally instructive spectacle due to take place?
When I issue the order, in person, Dandelion will remain in the dungeons beneath Temple Isle until then. So sorry I cannot be of help. Perhaps we can agree different terms. But first, let's see how Miss Marigold fares. It's grown suspiciously quiet in there. Come.
He say where Dandelion is?
Yes, but... Triss. I should tend to your wounds.
No need. I'm fine. Well, mostly fine. Should heal in time for my wedding.
Sorry. Should have gotten you out sooner.
Don't apologize. I knew what I was signing up for.
How do I say this? That was just a bit premature.
What do you mean?
Menge said Dandelion's locked up on Temple Isle. Dungeon right under the temple. He was planning to execute him in Oxenfurt. Also said they'd only let Dandelion out of his cell once Menge gave the order, in person.
Shit. I'm sorry, Geralt. I should have thought it through, but when I saw him,
After what they subjected you to, no need to explain.
He'd never have agreed to help us. Even if
I know. Let's not dwell on this. We should think about what to do next.
Dandelion's safe, for now. Though out of reach. We don't stand a chance of breaking him out. Temple Isle's impregnable. And Menge's not likely to order his transfer. Or anyone's, for that matter.
Saw Menga burn a sheet of paper right before we came in here.
Could have been something on it that would have helped us. Too late now.
So there's no way you could recover the note?
Sadly, no. I'm a sorceress, not a miracle worker.
Let's search his corpse.
Right. Could find something that'll help us. Just his office key in his pockets. Here. Nothing under his belt. Wait, something sewn in the lining.
What is it?
The key to a vault. Here. Give it to Dijkstra, with my regards.
Could you revive him?
Maybe. If I actually practiced black magic. Haven't sunken that low just yet. Nothing but dead ends. We'll need to make do.
Breaking Dandelion out's starting to look like our last option.
Geralt, you know me. I'm all for finding solutions. I don't give up easily. But in this case, there's no hope. Not a shred. No one escapes the dungeons beneath the temple. And no one's ever been broken out.
Anyone actually tried?
They've tried, Geralt. I've tried, to be exact. Shortly before you arrived. It almost cost me my life.
Menga's the only one who could have ordered Dandelion's release.
Yes. Or someone who looks exactly like him.
A Doppler?
Mm-hmm. Your old friend Dudu Biberveld impersonated the halfling merchant. Dandelion claimed he seemed more real than the original. So much so, Vivaldi gave him a loan of several thousand crowns without batting an eye.
Yeah, except Dudu's in hiding right now. Priscilla might know something, though.
Fingers crossed. Listen, there is one other thing I wanted to talk about, but not here, not now. Come by when you have a moment. I'd appreciate it. All right, we need to get out of here. This is where we split up. But first, let's burn this shack down.
Agreed. We've left too much evidence.
Yeah, but I also need to blow off some steam. Yes, Geralt?
Feel all right?
So. Why do you ask?
Been wondering. How's your hand? Your fingers?
They'll heal. Listen, it was my idea. I knew exactly what I was getting into. Don't need to worry about me.
When you slit Menga's throat, and then... you were fierce. Never seen that side of you.
What would you have had me do? Conjure up a cloud of butterflies?
Not what I mean, and you know it. I'm a little worried how it might affect you.
Well, yeah. I'd probably relive it in my dreams if I wasn't already having nightmares about mages roasting on pyres.
What did you want to talk about?
I got a strange message. I don't quite know what to think.
Who was it from?
Ingrid Vegelbud's servant. Apparently, Lady Vegelbud's prepared to donate a tidy sum. She wants to help mages escape from Novigrad.
Guessing this wouldn't be a selfless act of charity.
You guess right. And that's my problem. Vegelbud needs a favor from me. No details in the letter, unfortunately. I'm supposed to meet the servant at the fish market. Says he needs to explain everything face to face, but these days I can't be sure meeting him's a good idea.
What are you afraid of exactly?
That it's a trap. On the one hand, it's an opportunity I can't afford to let slip. We need the coin. On the other...
Nobody expects you to risk your life.
I expect that of myself. The thing is, it used to be easier. When I didn't know what happens when the witch hunters get their hands on you.
You could have escaped at any time.
I know, but I was still terrified. What if they fetter me in real Dimeridian? You won't always be there to help.
Who's this Ingrid Vegelbud?
The Vegelbuds are one of the city's most influential families. Somewhat atypical, the women have been in charge for generations. Patricia Vegelbud's the current mater familias. Ingrid's her daughter.
Know her personally?
No, seen her, that's all. And I've heard rumors. She's admired in Novigrad for her business acumen, and adored for the lavish balls she throws at the family estate outside town.
Though the balls probably serve her business interests in some way. Don't like this at all, but you seem determined. Not about to let you deal with it alone.
Thank you.
The servant. How are you supposed to contact him?
Said I'd recognize him. He'll be in a blue tunic, have a load of keys strapped to his belt. I'm supposed to ask him about the price for his trout.
Whose idea you think this was? The servants or Vegelbud's?
My bet's on Ingrid. High-born damsels have a lot more time than their servants to read adventure novels.
Think it'll be better if I talk to the mystery man in the blue tunic.
He's expecting to meet me.
You just wait nearby. I'll make sure that note didn't come from the witch hunters. Then you come in.
Mm-hmm. Fine. Let's meet there.
You was to come alone, miss.
If not for him, that trio would have dragged you in for questioning. The tall one was Valdo Muris. Works for the witch hunters.
Aye, you're surely right, miss. It just weren't what I expected, since Lady Vegelbud...
Now that we're past the initial courtesies, maybe you can tell us who you are.
Lady Vegelbud's valet. I meant you no offence, sir.
Why wouldn't Lady Vegelbud meet with me personally?
She was afraid they'd follow her. Been a nervous wreck of late.
So what's this about? Be straight.
Lady Vegelbud's son. He's the problem. Master Albert's taken an interest in alchemy. Temple guards gotten wind.
Wouldn't worry about the guard, but since the mage hunters tried to grab you, I'd say Albert's in serious trouble.
Aye. Lady Vegelbud bought off the guardsmen, but since the hunters pay for every mage revealed to them...
Guardsmen took a bribe from the frightened family, then whispered a word to the hunters anyway. How'd Ingrid Vegelbud know to contact Triss? That Triss was the right person?
We learned Miss Marigold had helped Myra Base disappear once the witch hunters were onto her. Myra provided Lady Ingrid with magical assistance on a few occasions with Milady's... afflictions.
Makes sense. Myra mentioned treating a highborn lady to me once.
Seems Albert needs to disappear soon as possible.
I can arrange that. Think young Vegelbud can slip out of the house unnoticed?
Tain't that simple, sadly. Master Albert's in hiding at the Vegelbud's country estate. Lady Ingrid's got the notion she can get him out quietly. Wants to throw a lavish masquerade ball.
Am I supposed to attend? Help him escape?
Aye. We'll not manage without you, miss. Lady Vegelbud fears the Alps being watched.
It's a good idea. A boisterous bash. That'll distract the hunters.
Especially if even half of what I've heard about the Vegelbud's balls is true. Word is, at the last one they served 100 different desserts, and the fireworks boomed from dusk till dawn.
What with the war and all, Milady's ordained but 85 desserts this time. Won't be no candied petals of blue roses from Nazaire. The roses have become dreadfully hard to come by.
Oh, I'd love to see it all.
Expect any trouble during the ball?
Hardest part will be to keep Master Albert's departure a secret from his grandmother.
Is that necessary?
Lady Patricia's a fervent believer of the eternal fire, knows naught about Albert's interests in alchemy. Luckily, the elder Lady Vegelbud's a rare visitor to the country residence.
Truly an atypical family.
I'm not one to judge, sir.
Hope we won't have to stay till the end.
You're coming with me?
Of course I am. Not about to send you into what could prove to be the lion's den by yourself. Think about it. 85 desserts, while you're still trying to keep your waist at 22 inches.
Geralt, please. How do we get to the residence?
Your invitation. Take it. The guard at the gate will have instructions for you. You're to wear a fox mask, all right? Good luck to you.
Think we can head there now?
You're kidding, right? We have to prepare. Change clothes. Most importantly, buy our masks. I bet you can get everything we need for the ball at Eliel's shop. You know it?
Been there before. Eliel's a friend of Dandelion's. Just masks, right? Probably don't need to wear a doublet, do I?
A doublet, Geralt. And it's not up for discussion. Take care of that, then come and see me. Oh my! Certainly took my request to heart.
Mean you weren't being serious? Still got time to change.
Don't you dare! You look great. You get everything?
Learn anything else about Albert?
Well, almost none of the mages have heard of him. An amateur, I guess.
So why the interest? Temple guards first, then hunters?
He's easy prey, and that's exactly why we should help him.
Everything's ready. We can go.
A shame events like this are so rare. Without them, I'd never get to see you dressed up.
Damn doublets chafing my armpits, and it feels like they sewed wires into this.
I'll be sure to admire your valiant suffering the whole time. Well then, shall we go?
Greetings, my lord, my lady.
We're Lady Ingrid Vegelbud's guests.
Your invitation, please. All's in order. You'll find Lady Vegelbud in the estate's yard. Look for the parrot mask. One more thing. Leave your swords here, please.
Fine.
A pleasant evening to you both.
It's beautiful here. I haven't been outside the city in ages. Well?
How could he? With that scrawny harlot!
Come now, don't cry. After all, he's not the only man in the world.
No use pretending you don't know me.
On a clear day.
Is that any way to treat an old mate? Refuse to acknowledge him?
There's been a mistake. I don't know you, sir.
Don't be foolish, Vivian. I'd recognize that mane anywhere. You might play the Great Dame now, but before that Baron Edward something pulled you from the gutter, you were a common...
Enough. The lady said she doesn't know you.
Who's this? The new one? Older than the last, it seems. A decrepit, moss-covered prick. So, the less they can, the more they pay. Is that it?
Let's go, Triss. Wouldn't want to make a scene.
Vivian! Hey! Oh, I liked you much better when you worked the carriages outside the Passiflora. Come back.
What a jackass.
I'm not done with you.
Time to invest in rubies.
I'm a crack.
Moritz, what are you doing here?
Little Miss Marigold. Well, well. And I was led to believe this would be an elegant affair.
Yes, I missed you too. But can we put that aside for now? Do you have a way out of Novigrad? You can join us if you want.
Triss, not what we're here for.
No, it's exactly why we're here. Well, Moritz?
Join you? And just who would I join?
Your friends, among others. Once we've all gathered, I'll lead you.
You will lead. Forgive me, Marigold, but that is like allowing myself to be led by a lame duck. Farewell.
Didn't like that guy. Why'd you insist on talking to him?
He's an old friend. His name's Moritz Diefenthal. Tell you the story later.
My, is he ever sorted?
I wish you a cold farewell.
Stop whining and bring a shrimp with a...
Oh, let's Let's look around.
This is dark.
Gregor, have you seen Durgoff just moments ago? Oh, apologies. I mistook you for my friend, sir. He wears a similar mask.
General Voris.
Geralt of Rivia. So, I was not entirely mistaken.
Pleasure, as always. This is...
A beautiful and mysterious lady. Let us leave the formalities to the event's end, when all will remove their masks. More fun that way, wouldn't you agree?
I would, sir.
And now I must beg your pardon. I really must find Durgoff, and quickly. A lovely evening to you both.
Excuse me a moment. Miss?
Yes, it's me. The trout buyer?
Hmm? Oh, yes, of course. Please excuse the precautions, but perhaps we could speak somewhere in private. Thank you for agreeing to help. My valet warned me you might come with a friend. I'd prefer as few as possible knew of Albert's flight. But if you trust this man...
Like no one else.
Any sign of the hunters recently?
Since they attacked my servant at the market, none. All has been quiet. But I bribed a man of the Temple Guard. He claims there's more and more talk of Albert in the ranks.
How did the guardsmen learn about your son's interests to begin with?
Unfortunately, I cannot be sure Albert himself was not the source. Merely boasting about an experiment. He's careless that way. Like his father. A kind man, but a dimwit. Devoured by an Arrakis. I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah. Must have traveled far and wide.
Hardly. He attempted to breed them. Perhaps I should be pleased Albert adopted alchemy as his hobby. A safe one, relatively speaking. Until recently, that is.
Let's get Albert. Where is he?
Entertaining the guests. He's always been an outsized presence at my receptions. I preferred not to arouse any suspicions.
When can we take him away?
We shall have to wait until the guests have imbibed enough to notice only the goblet-laden trays. Don't fret, it won't be long.
Is your son ready to go? We'll have to act quickly.
Yes, I've seen to everything. Where will you take him?
You're better off not knowing any details. He'll be safe, I promise.
But...
Please, trust me. It's not the first time I've done this.
I know. Thank you.
How will we recognize him?
He's donned a panther mask. He knew you were due to come for him. Seemed rather excited, ironically. I'm afraid he's not fully comprehended the danger he faces. As I said, he's not terribly bright.
Don't worry about that. He'll fit right in with a good number of the other mages.
Geralt! Let's go find him.
I shall await word from you.
Nice mask.
Rawr.
Albert Vegelbud?
No. I am a Black Panther. Rawr.
Oh my, Count!
Your excursion to Novigrad. We should talk about it.
Oh, so you are.
Yes, when can we leave the estate?
Well, Mama said it would be best to wait until everyone's drunk. Besides, there'll be fireworks later, a jolly good distraction. Once they've begun, I shall slip away, saunter into the garden. We'll meet in the hedge maze.
Be waiting for you there.
Very well. But first, you absolutely must try the Fiorano Rosé. Absolutely.
Relieved to get that mask off, if only for a little. Great view from here, and there's even wine. It's been so long since I've been to a feast, ball, or reception. Amazingly pleasant change from the sewers of Novigrad.
So, does this mean it's a good time to ask you about...
Yes?
About that mage we met earlier?
Oh, Maritz. What do you want to know?
How'd you meet?
Geralt, all mages know each other. Some are well over a century old. That's plenty of time to make acquaintances.
In that case, when did you meet him?
At a feast, long ago. He walked up and just blatantly offered to teleport us somewhere quieter.
Seemed just like the type.
Oh, really? At the time, to me, he seemed sweet. He actually pursued me for a while afterwards.
Got the impression he doesn't exactly like you.
I just think he'd love to have me as his charge, rather than his leader.
See, but you're the one organizing the mage's escape from Novigrad.
Sometimes I have no idea how I actually managed to bring them all together.
Personal charm. That's what it's about.
Careful, that sounded like a compliment.
Glad it did.
Oh. Are you trying to...
Someone's coming.
Is it Albert?
No, just some lost guest. Shh.
Must be looking for his beloved. Like in that elven tale about the frog and the lark. Inchu, inchu, beag broga. Inch by inch, little frog.
Shh, let's go.
Oh. I sure hope the other guests don't get drunk as quickly as I did.
Sooner we get out of here, the better.
Oh, no. I plan to have a good look at this famous maze of theirs first. I hear the statues there are completely, entirely...
Entirely what?
Nude. Come on, Geralt.
Triss, wait.
Geralt, coming? Geralt, coming?
Well, slow it down. No, I didn't notice the car.
Well?
Careful.
Miss Marigold, at last! So sorry we are forced to meet under such incredibly inopportune circumstances.
You can say that again.
But I'm sure we'll make up for it another time. I absolutely must show you my alchemical formulae.
Anyone follow you?
I don't believe so.
Just in case, you two switch masks. We'll go first. Geralt will follow right after.
Saddled horses await in the stables.
Good. Meet you there.